Hello everybody, I am Karryshh, your best host for horror recaps. Now there are many games out there that claims to summon spirits, but none of them works properly. Well, our today's movie brings out a new ghost game. Some friends are gonna fight for their lives after inviting a spirit during a necromancy ritual. The movie is called The Ghost Game Korean Horror. One time watch, I can say, it's not confusing and I didn't find it scary, but maybe that's cause I have watched thousands of horror movies and now it is really hard for me to get scared. However, you must watch this recap video till the end and figure out if you wanna watch this one or not. Give this video 200 likes, that's all I ask for this one. Share it with your friends and subscribe if you're new. Connect with me on Instagram where I try to reply every single one of you. And with that said, grab your snacks as I recap The Ghost Game Korean Horror. So the story begins with Ja Young, who wakes up when a soap bubble suddenly pops right near her face. Then she looks outside her room and she sees the ghost of a little girl eerily spinning around in circles cause there was something wrong with one of its legs. Then out of nowhere, a doll slips over to where the ghost was and then the ghost disappeared. Ja Young checks around the house and she finds that same doll under her sister's bed. But the moment she picks it up, the ghost of the little girl crawls out from under the bed, grabs Ja Young by the neck and starts strangling her. That's when Ja Young suddenly wakes up realizing it was just a dream. Next to her was Si Woo, her stepsister. Not only this, Ja Young had scratched her neck in her sleep, so Si Woo runs off to get some medicine for her. Then Ja Young sits on her computer looking at old childhood photos of herself and her younger sister. And here's the twist. The ghost she just saw in her dream was actually her real younger sister who had gone missing years ago. Then Ja Young joins a Zoom video call since she was working from home. On the call are 4 other people: Dong Jun, Ki Ho, Yi Un and Mi Yeon. Ki Ho, who's basically their boss, is a big-time YouTuber and the rest of them work for him. Today, he shows them this creepy video a random subscriber had sent him. In the video, some people are playing this strange game that seems to involve possession. It turns out they're playing a ghost game where a spirit answers question people write on a piece of paper and places that paper in water. Not only this, but the spirit only replies in Chinese. Now Ki-ho wants to try this game for their next video. Mi-yeon thinks the whole thing is fake and pointless, but Ki-ho says it doesn't matter. Real or fake, they can make a documentary-style short film out of it and earn a lot of money. Yoon actually hopes it's real because she wants to talk to her grandmother's spirit. Dong-jun and Ja-young don't really mind either way. They were ready to play the game. However, this game needs 6 players since one person has to get possessed for the ghost to answer through him. That's why Ja-young convinces her stepsister Si-woo to join as the 6th player. After they wrap up the call, it's revealed that on this very day, years ago, Ja-young's younger sister had gone missing. Anyway, preparing for the shoot, Ja Young puts on a school uniform since the documentary requires them to play school students. She also carries her missing sister's bracelet with her cause for her, if this game turns out to be real, she wants to use this chance to reach her sister's spirit and finally learn the mystery behind her. Then everyone meets up, dressed in school uniforms and they laugh and mess around. But in the middle of it all, Ja Young briefly sees her sister again. This basically means something evil was happening to her. Now the group spends the whole day traveling to an abandoned old building. It was a place where dead bodies were used to be stored during the war. Not only that, but it's the same building where people once played the ghost game shown in the video Ki-ho had received. Inside the building, they find a pentagram drawn on one of the walls, which instantly gives everyone chills. Still, they have to film this video so they keep on going deeper into the ruins. Then they came across a room that reeks with such a foul stench. They all stop to question whether filming here is even worth it. But eventually, they push through the smell and go inside the room. That's where they find the ritual site, the exact place where people had once played the ghost game. Everything they needed was already there, waiting for them. Now here, Kiho explains that there's more to this place. During the war, this basement was used specifically for this ghost ritual. According to the legend, the black water in the pond you're seeing right now filled up on its own. The reason it's black is because countless spirits are trapped inside and they are unable to leave. During this game, if someone stands in the pond, the spirit possesses that person and it uses their body to answer questions. Miyeon, of course, doesn't believe any of this and she keeps on mocking Kiho, which makes him angry. Dongjun steps in to calm both of them down and then they start setting up the shoot. Cameras are placed all around and Kiho really hypes up the ritual for this video. On camera, he acts like he's doing a blood sacrifice, but in reality, he's just squeezing a sponge filled with fake blood. Basically, his whole ritual was going to be staged. Still, Kiho draws a pentagram near the black pond with fake blood, and meanwhile Joyoung, she quietly thinks about how she can use this opportunity to talk to her sister. When the group decides who should stand in the water, Siwoo volunteers, cause you see Siwoo wants to help her stepsister connect with her real sister, and then, shocking everyone, Joyoung actually cuts her own hand and lets her real blood drip into the ritual. However, no one stops her, cause deep inside they all wanted this game to be true. After this, Kiho hands out slips of paper and everyone writes down their questions. Joyoung writes if she will be able to meet her real sister once again. She ties her real sister's bracelet around Siwoo's ankle. Not only this, she tells Siwoo that it's just a gift, which makes Siwoo happy, but it was clear that Joyoung was using her for her own purpose. Everyone fills their bowls with black water and places their papers inside. Kiho then puts a paper bag over Siwoo's head and has her step into the cursed water. He tells the group to end this game. They will have to ask the spirit to leave calmly before the bag can safely be removed from Siwoo's head, or else something bad can happen. Finally, everyone starts calling the spirit, waiting for Siwoo to get possessed, but nothing happens for a long time. They start thinking the game is a fake. Then, Joyoung finally notices a soap bubble floating above Siwoo's head, the same bubble from the beginning of the movie. Only Joyoung was able to see it, and suddenly, loud thumping sounds echo everywhere. The bubble pops, and Siwoo slowly raises her hand in a creepy way. Her body starts twitching and locking up, and then she actually becomes possessed. Her eyes turns pitch black, and it shocks everyone. Kiho instantly starts filming. Siwoo's hand began ticking around like the hand of a clock until it stopped, pointing directly at Miyeon. Right then, the paper in front of Miyeon reveals a word. It was no, meaning the answer to Miyeon's question was no. Then, Kiho's paper say yes. Yeon's paper say flower, Dongjun's paper say yes, and Joyoung's paper say yes as well, meaning she will be able to talk to her sister soon. Then right after this, the possessed Siwoo attacks Joyoung. Luckily, the spirits cannot leave the dark water, and that's why possessed Siwoo stops at the boundary. Then the lights go out, and in the darkness, Siwoo spins around inside the water, just like Joyoung's little sister ghost had at the start of this movie. The lights flicker, and watching this, Joyoung realizes that maybe her sister's spirit is inside Siwoo now. These paranormal activities make everyone panic, and that's why they ended up dragging Siwoo out of the pond, but she collapses unconscious, and a demonic mark has appeared on Siwoo's feet. Kiho quickly makes a quick video of her feet and immediately tries to upload it online so his audience can explain what it is. He was thrilled because the ghost game is real and this can make him rich. But the video won't upload. There's no signal inside this building. The group then decides to leave, but the door won't open. They push, slam, even try to break the door down, but the door won't budge. While everyone is busy trying to escape, Miyeon keeps staring at her paper with the word no on it, and she was looking disturbed. Then, she starts hearing strange, creepy sounds. The voices come from above, and when she looks up, She sees a evil spirit hanging from the ceiling. It suddenly drops into her, forcing its way into her mouth in a really creepy way. The others see Mion standing unnaturally still, and she does not respond to anything. Then her neck cracks, and she starts laughing in a disturbing way. At the same time, Kiho's video suddenly uploads on its own, and instantly the video gets 1 million views. People online are even telling him to call the police, but right then, Mion's neck cracks again, and when Dongju walks toward her, she suddenly screams and runs and starts slamming her head against the door over and over. Mion gets injured badly and Dongju and Jaeyoung try to stop her, but then Mion turns to him and in a twisted evil voice, she says that they're all going to die. Mion then grabs a broken baseball bat and she runs straight towards unconscious Siwoo to unalive her. The others tackle her, but Mion is unnaturally strong. She throws them off and charges at Siwoo again. In the final moment, Jaeyoung stops her, but Mion just smirks and says, "Why are you saving her? She is not your real sister." And then, out of nowhere, Kiho comes up from behind her and he stabs her with a broken bat, brutally unaliving her. Everyone is horrified, but now Kiho himself becomes possessed. However, the second Dongjun touches him, he snaps back to normal. He breaks down crying over Mion's body, and in that moment, Jaeyoung catches another glimpse of her sister's spirit. Everyone is confused. Dongjun picks up Mion's paper and reads the question she had written. And after reading that, he starts blaming Kiho for unaliving her on purpose. Cause you see, Mion had returned, will she ever escape Kiho's grasp? The spirit had answered no, and seeing that, Kiho was shaken. Kiho was now getting the blame of a murder, and now the scene flashes back to the past. We find out back in their school days, they were all actually classmates, and Mion had a secret girlfriend. One day, the two were kissing in the bathroom, and Kiho recorded them on his phone. After that, he started blackmailing Mion, threatening to leak the video, which could have ruined her chances at getting into a good college. However, this wasn't all. You see, Mion also knew Kiho's secret. He had a secret Twitter account where he sold adult videos. Not only this, Dongjun had witnessed all this blackmailing stuff back then. Now in the present, Dongjun suspects Kiho unalived Mion to stop her from revealing his truth. But Kiho denies it. He says he doesn't remember how she died. Dongjun then shows him a video of him unaliving Mion, but Kiho insists that he was possessed in that moment. He even explains that after the murder, he was limping badly, but in real life he doesn't limp. The thing here to notice is that he was limping just like Jaeyoung's little sister, so maybe her ghost is the one behind all this. Then suddenly Mion's spirit appears and grabs Kiho's leg. She drags him down and he screams for help, but then a light bulb explodes and shards of glass rain down and stab into his mouth. The lights go completely out and Dongju, Yeeun and Jaeyoung turn on flashlights to look for him, but instead of Kiho, they find words smeared in blood on the wall. The words say, "See you soon." Right then, blood starts dripping onto Yeeun from above, and out of nowhere, possessed Kiho attacks from the ceiling. Everyone struggles but manage to pull him away. In the end, they chain him up, and nobody knows what to do next. That's when Jaeyoung notices a soap bubble floating above unconscious Siwoo. The next second, Siwoo vomits black water and starts waking up. They rush to help her, but then Jaeyoung sees the evil mark still on her leg. And here, she makes a realization. According to Jaeyoung, they played the ghost game wrong. Remember, Kiho told everyone that they need to send the spirit back. They had to actually tell it to leave before they pull Siwoo out of the water. However, in fear, they skipped that part. Well, that's why the spirit is still roaming free in their world, and it is unaliving them one by one. In the exact order their questions were answered. First was Mion, and she died first. Then it was was Kiho and now he's possessed, and the third one was Yi-un. So if Kiho dies, Yi-un will be next. Jaeyoung believes the only way to fix this is to play the game again and properly send the spirit back. That's why they put Siwoo back into the cursed water. They even place Miu's body in her spot and bring the possessed chained up Kiho as well. Dongju picks up Kiho's paper and read his question. It was, will my video hit 1 million views? And the spirit had answered yes. Anyway, once again, everyone starts the ghost game and summons the spirit. Soon, the spirit shows up inside Siwoo's body and starts answering the same questions with the same answers. After this, Siwoo takes off the mask and starts speaking in Jaeyoung's sister's voice, which shocks her. Dongjun and Yoon try to tell Jaeyoung that it's not really her sister. Whatever it is, it's mimicking her sister. When Jaeyoung calms down, they all ask the spirit to leave, and this time, it actually goes away smoothly. No paranormal activity happens. Their phones finally get service, and Dongjun even calls the police for help. Possessed Kiho passes out and they pull Siwoo out of the water, thinking that it's all over. Now everyone just lays down to rest since the door was still locked. Jaeyoung and Dongjun kiss here and they admit that they like each other, but Yi-un doesn't take it well cause you see, she had a crush on Dongjun. Eventually, they all fall asleep, but when they wake up, Kiho was dead. Someone slit his throat. Everyone was shocked, and after checking the cameras, they realized the spirit possessed Kiho and made him unalive himself with a knife. That means the ghost game isn't over and Yi-un is next. She knows it too. That's why she panicked, ran, and started banging on the locked door. But she doesn't last long. The spirit ends up possessing her, and possessed Yi-un falls into the black water and started drowning. Dongjun and Jaeyoung pulls her out, and she doesn't die here. Now they need to think what's happening, and soon Dongjun realizes only the people whose questions were actually answered are now dying. Mion was unalived by possessed Kiho cause she could never escape him, and Kiho died cause his video really did hit 1 million views. Then Dongjun shows his slip of paper. He had asked the spirit if Jaeyoung had liked him, and the ghost had answered yes. Since that came true as well, it means Dongjun might be next, but that's not all. Now here, Yi-un shows her slip as well. Her question was, who does Dongjun love? The spirit had answered, flower. And the thing is, Jaeyoung's name actually means a beautiful flower, which means Yi-un's question has also been successfully answered. Now after this, Yi-un has her own theory. She says if Jaeyoung dies, maybe she and Dongjun will survive since both of their questions were tied to her. She turns evil, grabs a knife and tries to unalive Jaeyoung. At the last moment, Dongjun stops her and Jaeyoung chains Yi-un's hand to restrain her immediately. But then, out of nowhere, 4 mysterious doors open in the room. Dongjun and Jaeyoung go through those doors, and on the other side there are hallways with talisman covering the walls. At the end of each hallway, the word death is written. Meanwhile, Yi-un manages to free herself, and that's when Dongjun also notices something written behind the talisman. It says if 5 people play the ghost game and all 5 people die, you will be given a body. Then a scream comes from outside and Dongjun rushes out to check, and he was horrified to see Yi-un's body brutally unalived and hung up on a pillar. Then unexpectedly, Jaeyoung appears and she stabs Dongjun. Here, Jaeyoung finally reveals that she was the one who lured everyone into this building. That video Kiho had received, she was the one who sent it. And now the truth comes out. The scene shifts to the past, showing Jaeyoung playing with her little sister, blowing soap bubbles. Her sister had a limp leg, which hints that maybe the evil spirit is actually Jaeyoung's younger sister. When they were kids, Jaeyoung had promised that she will always protect her, but then her sister disappeared and Jaeyoung spent her whole life depressed. Everyone kept telling her to move on, to forget her sister, and that only made her angrier. But the truth is, she lied. Her sister didn't just disappear. One day while reaching into the bathroom cabinet, her sister slipped, fell, and died. After that, Jayoung's parents fought constantly and eventually they divorced each other. Jayoung always blamed herself because she couldn't protect her little sister like she promised. However, it didn't stop there. Her father remarried and Jayoung suddenly had a stepmother with a daughter of her own, Siwoo. From the very beginning, Jayoung hated her. Ever since childhood, she couldn't let go of the idea that she had to bring her real sister back. Years later, Jayoung came across the ghost game ritual. The true purpose of the ritual was that if 5 people were sacrificed, the devil would bring her younger sister back to life. And that's why she planned all of this. She wanted Siwoo, Dongjun, Kiho, Miyeon, and Yeon dead so her sister could return. As soon as Dongjun hears the truth, he tries to escape, but he doesn't make it. Jayoung strangles him with a chain and unalive him brutally. The moment he dies, Siwoo regains consciousness and sees her sister's demonic form, which terrifies her. Suddenly, her body becomes paralyzed because she was wearing Jayoung's sister's bracelet. That meant her sister's resurrection was going to happen inside Siwoo's body. For the final ritual, Jayoung ties Siwoo inside the pond. She even reads Siwoo's slip of paper, where her question had been, "Does my sister love me?" And obviously the answer was no, but poor Siwoo still couldn't see Jayoung's demonic side. She had never imagined that her own stepsister would do something like this. In the end, Jayoung begins the ritual, summoning her sister's spirit, and soon the spirit arrives and possesses Siwoo. When Jayoung checks, it looks like her sister is finally alive inside Siwoo's body. Her sister is scared and confused, but Jayoung calms her down and starts leading her out of the building. But as soon as Siwoo leaves the pond, something begins happening to her body. Her eyes turn black and all the corpses in the room suddenly grab onto her leg. Jayoung tries to save her, but now the demon speaks from inside of Siwoo. The demon tells Jayoung, "You unalived all your friends and now you have even reunited with your sister." In other words, the demon had already answered Jayoung's question, which meant now it was her turn to die. And this is where the final truth is revealed. Remember the writing behind the talisman? If 5 people will die in the ghost game, one body will be given. But the question was, to whom? You see, the body wasn't meant for Jayoung's sister. It was meant for the demon, so it could be freed from hell. Jayoung had misunderstood this entire game, thinking her sister would be resurrected, but all the demon had promised is that the demon will have Jayoung reunite with her sister, which he already did for a brief moment. Now after this, the demon strangles Jayoung to death, exactly the same way her sister's spirit unalived her in that dream at the beginning of the movie. That's when it becomes clear the demon had been disguising itself as Jayoung's sister the entire time, just to keep her confused. In the end, the demon escapes into Siwoo's body and the movie ends right here. So, this was the recap video on the movie The Ghost Game, and I hope you have liked this video. Give this video a thumbs up, only 200 likes I ask, share it with your friends and subscribe. To get updates about this channel, go join Telegram, and to get in touch with me, go follow me on Instagram where I reply every single one of you. You can find all my links in the description box and the comment section. Subscribe to my mystery channel and just know I am working on a lot of stuff that will blow your mind in the future. For now, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay happy, stay alert, cause they always see you.